Kayla Nicole is probably regretting the moment she mentioned Teyana Taylor's name in public. Just a short while ago, the internet was cheering Kayla on as the next big star in the influencer world. Now, things have taken a sharp turn, and she's being compared to Ice Spice in ways that aren't exactly flattering. When Teyana publicly calls someone out, it usually signals the end of their reputation, and that's exactly what's happening now. Teyana didn't hold back, warning Kayla not to mention her name or even breathe in her direction after Kayla made some shocking claims. So, what caused all this drama? It all started after Kayla announced that she had been involved with someone who happened to be connected to Teyana. This came after Kayla's public breakup with Travis Kelce, who quickly moved on with Taylor Swift. Their highly publicized relationship had Swifties in a frenzy, leaving Kayla to fend off waves of criticism. To her credit, Kayla initially had a lot of support from people who sympathized with what she was going through. Dealing with an army of online trolls is no small task, and many rallied behind her during that tough time. But Kayla's recent actions have some people questioning her character. During an appearance on the Unapologetically Angel podcast, hosted by Angel Reese, Kayla was asked to share the wildest thing she had ever done in a relationship. She had plenty of options for how to answer. She could have kept it simple, shared a lighthearted story, or even made something up. She could have mentioned her relationship with Travis, and people would have likely moved on without a second thought. Instead, Kayla chose chaos. She decided to spill details about a past relationship that had nothing to do with Travis. At first, listeners thought she was sharing her personal experience. But as the story unfolded, it became clear that she was stirring the pot and bringing up someone else's name. And let's be honest, Kayla knows exactly how social media works. She's been in the game long enough to understand that whatever she says will end up all over the blogs. Still, she went for it, knowing full well the drama it would create. Unfortunately, the way she handled it came off as petty and unnecessary. It's one thing to share your truth, but it's another to drag someone else into it, especially when the person in question is someone as respected and well-loved as Teyana Taylor. The internet didn't take kindly to Kayla's move, and the backlash has been swift and harsh. In the end, Kayla's decision to open up this particular can of worms has left her in a messy situation. Teyana, meanwhile, continues to stand tall, reminding everyone why she's a class act. Kayla's attempt to stay relevant by stirring controversy might have backfired, and now she's dealing with the fallout. Sometimes silence really is golden.
Relationship? This is we weren't in the relationship, but this is probably one of my favorite crazy Kayla stories because I don't have that many. But I'm a Scorpio and I have that crazy in me though. You know what I mean? Like it's back there. So I was dating a guy.
Okay.
I was dating a guy and he dumped me through a text message. And he dumped me for this singer/actress who was famous at the time. Dumped me for her. Lied about it for months, then popped out with her, and it became like this public thing, and it was like, oh my God, we love them. Another like celebrity iconic relationship. And of course, little old me, I'm devastated, I'm heartbroken. I had just moved to New York to like be with this person and move in with them. It was a whole thing.
It's not who y'all think.
Yeah, you guys will not be able to figure this out. Or maybe they will, who cares, it doesn't matter. So he breaks up with me, dumps me, moves on. And for Halloween that year, I dressed up as her.
Oh!
I dressed up as that lady for Halloween. And not only
Are
did
the
I,
pictures out?
they're there somewhere. They're on the internet. And it went viral.
Clock that.
It went viral. It was everywhere. Like,
Really?
and that was before like I was even anything on Instagram, which is why it was even funnier because everybody's like, oh my God, you look so good. And
Did he say
killed it.
something?
Yeah, you called me crazy. Like, you're not.
She said no one would be able to guess who she was talking about. But child, the moment she said she dressed as the man's girlfriend for Halloween, it was over for her. The internet had to do what the internet always does and starts digging and focus on the picture she took around 10 years ago. And as soon as the picture came out of the archives, you didn't need anyone to tell you who Kayla was imitating.
I'm sorry, but if my man's old girlfriend went through the trouble of dressing like me.
Kayla Nicole might have thought she could share a little tea without causing a storm, but she couldn't have been more wrong. When she said no one would figure out who she was talking about, it seemed innocent enough. But the second she mentioned dressing up as the man's girlfriend for Halloween, the internet did what it does best, digging up receipts. It didn't take long before the internet unearthed an old photo from nearly a decade ago. Once the picture surfaced, it became painfully clear who Kayla was imitating. Now, let's be real. Dressing up like the man's girlfriend, especially when he's still with her, is a bold move, one that screams jealousy and bitterness. Maybe Kayla wanted to send a message to him and Teyana Taylor, showing she could look just as good. But let's face it, if someone's a cheater, it doesn't matter if you look like a work of art straight out of Michelangelo's studio. They'll cheat anyway.
For Halloween, the smile that would be produced on my face, you would cast me for Joker 3. I'd be smiling for days. For days. I'm a Scorpio sun, also a Leo moon. The smile, oh my God, like you just made my year.
Here's where things get messier. Iman Shumpert, the man in question, and Kayla were never officially a couple. If they did have something going on, it was during a time when Iman was already publicly dating Teyana. The timeline makes it clear. Kayla might have been a side piece without realizing it. By the time she posted that Halloween photo in 2016, Iman and Teyana had been together for at least 3 years. Whether she knew it or not, the breakup turned out to be a blessing in disguise because, let's be honest, Iman hasn't exactly built the best reputation for himself. As the story spread across social media, Teyana decided to chime in. First, she posted a story with emojis, subtly hinting at how ridiculous the whole situation was. Then, she followed up with a post highlighting her packed schedule for 2025. Teyana's message was clear. She's booked, busy, and thriving, completely unbothered by the drama. Teyana could have stopped there and ignored the whole thing, as she often does with situations like this. For instance, when the Amber Rose and Iman rumors surfaced, Teyana didn't address it directly. Instead, her friends spoke up for her. But everyone has their limits, and it seems Kayla's actions finally pushed Teyana to respond more directly. She left a comment on the Shade Room and let's just say it wasn't short. Teyana reminded everyone that some people just aren't worth the energy. But when they keep poking, you've got to set the record straight. Kayla's attempt to stir the pot ended up exposing her to a flood of backlash. Meanwhile, Teyana proved once again why she remains one of the classiest and most unbothered women in the game. Sometimes staying silent speaks volumes, but when you do respond, you better make it count. And Teyana did just that. Phew. It's really crazy that everyone is allowed to bother me and be distasteful. Everybody gets to play while I move with grace always, but now I want to have a little Sagittarius fun too, and it's a problem at the moment part. I'm divorced and happily, so however her choice of words were very distasteful and uncalled for. She knew exactly what she was doing. The lady said she was famous at the time, also said I don't care who see it, it's very distasteful and uncalled for. Most importantly, she knew people would dig, so automatically my name is attached to the nonsense. At that point, she didn't need to add me, it was clearly a quick search. My name was trending without even saying a word. That's how I saw it. Lol. On top of the fact that the math wasn't mathing and the facts weren't fading, however, the level of cringe factor was lol. I'm finding out, just like the world, that her intentions were ill and petty. She pulled the black card when it came to Taylor Swift, but in the same circle turned around and tried to bully the black woman that was married to her situationship. She claimed dumped her for me dressing up like me. For what crazy part about it is I actually showed love under her pic when she posted it, like I did the other 3,736.
I got a question because I feel like a lot of us are being willfully obtuse right now, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because we put on our helmet of salvation for Kayla Nicole in the past and we're trying to keep it on, but I just really need to know. Is there a certain time period that needs to go by where you get a pass for being a side chick or in a situationship with somebody's husband? Like, how much time has to go by for that not to be a big deal and for you to be able to talk in public about it as if it's no big deal, or just casually about it, or I don't know, not take it to the grave? How much time needs to go by for that? I need to know, because is it like 10 years, 15 years, and then you can get on podcasts and talk about you were side chicks to married men? Is that okay? And would it be okay if it was your husband and 10 years went by? Would that be okay? And then after that, instead of trying to just like leaving the situation gracefully, you dressed up as that person for Halloween? Is that okay? Now, the dressing up as you know, your side dude or I don't know, secret lover's girl is weird, and that alone, I get why you would bring it up as like the craziest thing you ever done. Like, I'm not saying I can get that a little bit, but knowing that this person was married at the time. I don't know. I just would have took that to the grave personally. But it seems like there's a certain time period that like those type of things can be spoken about for any reason. I just want to know what it is. You guys let me know how long. 10, 15, 20 years. You guys let me know.
Wow, that was a lot to take in. Kayla Nicole definitely didn't see Teyana Taylor coming at her with such force. But after everything, Kayla decided to respond, and her statement was pretty bold. She said, "Asterisk, I will continue to share my life experiences whenever I feel like it, without any shame, because it's my story to tell. If what I've been through can help even one woman avoid the challenges I faced, then everything I've gone through won't have been for nothing." Asterisk. While her words sounded confident, they didn't do much to stop the internet from dragging her. People everywhere were chiming in, calling Kayla out for what they felt was unnecessary drama. Instead of looking like a strong, independent woman, many believed she came across as petty and immature.
Personally, I don't think Teyana Taylor even needed to do this. Because if she went through the trouble of dressing up like you for Halloween, she's already a fan. Like, she's already aware of your work. She's already aware of all the things that you're doing. We don't need to know, because we know who you've been. We know, and you can announce things that you're excited about. Her, love that for you, get that check, get that post-divorce money, but you don't have anything to prove. And the bragging rights of her to be talking about Iman, because I was thinking that this is some maybe businessman, someone else that we don't know. Iman, the stingy Iman, the one that's begging Teyana Taylor for money that couldn't fame and success and her talent. That's the one that we're supposed to be that's the one you're upset about. That's the one you're pressed about. Honey, you can keep him. Like, surely this is one of those guys that you never want to admit that you ever dated because of how they're acting. Like, real, I get why Teyana Taylor responded. Like, she's tired of people moving mad when she moves with decorum. Totally hear that. But honey, Kayla is a fan. And as a Nigerian woman, I would never, ever, ever let her live it down. I'm obsessed. It's giving Mariah Carey like, oh, you're so obsessed with me. Wow, you really ordered all of those pieces. It's giving Amazon, like it's giving polyester. Like, you could not have waterboarded that information out of me.